Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Known Classics. This is episode number 2835 and double shot number 2729. Well, this one is something more interesting and another volume from a series I just reviewed last review. First reviewing is Showcase Presents The Spectre. And this book is lengthy. This book's over 600 freaking pages, this book is. And here's what this book collects. Showcase, number 60, 61, 64, Brave and the Bold, 72, 75, 116, 180, 199. The entire first volume of The Spectre. And, of course, Adventure Comics, number 431 to 440. The DC Comic Book number 29. And Ghost, 97 through 99. You're like, wow, that's a lot of comics. I am skipping over a couple issues in here. 72 and 75 because I discussed those already. 72 I discussed this recently as I want to talk about Bolt. And 75 was collecting the Bronze Age Rainbow team-ups. This is finding it fascinating, though, out of all the members of the JSA, and yet the Spectre gets a feature comic. Not Jay Garrick. There was a rebooted Hawkman, yes, but it wasn't Carter Hall, it was K.T.R. Hall. Jay Garrick basically just made appearances in Flash. Sandman didn't have features at this point in time, so I guess the easy thought, okay, let's give it to the Spectre. So, like in the case normal with the case of Showcase, the tryout book, except he's there for 3 issues, not like Flash, he's there for 4, and I think like Green Lantern's there for 3. He's here for like, not 3 straight issues, no, it's like 2 issues, and they 2 issues off, and come back for 1 more issue. By the way, I did look up in the book what this cover's from. This actually is from Adventure Comics number 438. So, by the way, this book covers time period of 1966 to 1974 to 1974, 1975, 1981, and 1983. Like, wow, that's a lot of time. Pretty much in a way, like, all these early stories here are done by, basically for the Spectre story from Showcase up until the Showcase issues, all done by Gardner Fox. He even does the Spectre ongoing series. For the first 3 issues, Neil Adams does issue 5. He takes back over issue number 6. And he's there for like 2 more issues. In issue 8, you have Steve Skate take over the book. Then you have 9 taken by Mike Frederick, with Denny O'Neil doing a story in the book. Yes. And Mike Hearn. Issue 10, there's no credit for a writer for this one. Nope. And then Michael Fisher, who wrote Ghost Rider Volume 1, the one featuring the one became the Phantom Rider. He was writer for the Adventure Comic issues, like all the issues. He wrote all 10 issues of that one. And then, of course, basically we had the Brave and Bold issue done by Bob Haney, who does... He pretty much wrote all the Brave and Bold issues featuring the Spectre in here. Well, he didn't write the last 2. No, the last 2, 180 is on Mike Fisher, and 190 by Mike Derry Barr. The DC Comics Presents is done by Lee Wein and Jim Starlin. Interesting deal that one is. You have the 3 issues of Showcase, Ghost, by Paul Kupperberg. Yes. The most of these were Doc 13 stories, guest starring the Spectre. I guess they probably figured to throw these in there because they feature Spectre, so why not? So, here's the cover for Showcase number 60. Yes, presents almost like exciting comic event in past 20 at the Travel Return of the Spectre. Yeah, because he had featured more for comics, and then eventually he got his own book. Is it weird though? He was actually the first founding member of Justice League in the Silver Age who actually got his own book. Yeah. So mostly you have doing some crime stuff here. Chase the criminals. That's it's basically standard Spectre stuff. And then we have fight against this guy here, which, here's the fun fact with this guy. After this one issue, he would never fight him again until Spectre Volume 3. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, he fights this demon this one issue here. Really fun issue, and then we move to issue 64. After skipping a couple issues, I guess they figured out, okay, let's have one more issue of him featuring this book. A little bit gambling here. And then right after this, we have 2 issues of Brave and Bold featured in as a guest, as a team up thing. But I've discussed these issues already, so I'm going to skip over these issues. And what happens next right after these 2 Brave and Bold issues? Well, what happened next is that he got his own solo book, which lasted for 10 issues. I think, if I remember reading online, I think this book was canceled due to low sales. Yes, they moved to Adventure Comics, which... There's issue 4 of Wrath of Spectre, which actually is the only one that have published original material. And that basically was not printed here for some reason. Not sure why, but it's not printed here. So, yeah, basically the Spectre just doing this whole thing with Jim Corrigan. There's not much crime stuff here. It's more supernatural stuff. Because that's basically right. I guess we just wanted this to do that for Spectre. Instead of doing crime noir stuff featuring some supernatural elements. Nope, it's basically oh yeah. And then by issue number 3, you have guest appearance by Wildcat, and this was the last issue written by Gardner Fox because they had Neil Adams. Of course, he was doing the artwork for this issue. It was interesting having guest art here, Wildcat, and then like the very next issue, it's like, oh, some kid trying to take over the world. Yeah, it's more interesting. Not really. This is more like still late Silver Age stuff, but gotta love the stuff here. And we have the Spectre, Fugitive from Justice. Love this cover here. Just really fun stories here. Spectre just going all over the place, encountering various people, but no set city he's headed. Not particularly. Now, it's unknown why issue 10 does not get a credited writer. Like, here's issue 10, the final issue of the series, and there's no credited writer. It is the only book, it's the only issue of all 10 issues, there's no credited writer. There is a credited artist. Yes, the artist who did this story. There are... there are 4 stories in this final issue. The opening story is written by is drawn by Jerry Gertie. Second story, hit and run Jack Spring. He also has the rest of the stories too. And it's like more in basic kind of the book, which as a joke because like, oh yeah, he's kind of confined to this book. And then like right after this, he moved to Adventure Comics. Like immediately right afterwards. Yep. And you gotta love these covers here. It's fantastic. And of course, basically, we're now in the Bronze Age. Yep. And now it's more a little bit crime noir mixed with supernatural. Like early stuff was just supernatural. Now it's crime noir mixed with supernatural. Which in my honest opinion, that works Spectre a lot better than just doing just supernatural stuff. Yeah, he may be a supernatural character, but Jim Corrigan was a detective. Use him more instead of just having the Spectre going freaking nuts. They might ever think, do they do that for Third Line? Yes, they do. John does mix a little bit of crime noir with supernatural stuff. Yeah, and get this. For the 10 issues of Adventure Comics that feature Spectre as a feature in the book, only one he has a full story in, and that's 434. Now, 435 to 437 is basically has a backup feature featuring Aquaman, which I have viewed already. And then he's replaced by, for the last couple issues that he's in this book, he's replaced by the Seven Soldiers Victory and Shining Knight feature. He's even, yeah. That's what he's replaced by. But, gotta love the stuff here. And look, this is the issue that features the return of Aquaman. And we're about to reach the cover that features the cover from the cover of this very book. It's not this one. I think it was like 438. I think it was. Which you gotta love the covers. This one, it's amazing. Let's see. I think I passed. Hang on. Actually, may have been 439. Here we go. Here it is. Yep, that's the cover. Yeah, interesting though they picked that cover. Out of all the covers of this book, they picked the one where he's being shot up by a Tommy gun. Yeah, he's sort of like a love interest here, who's like a daughter of a gangster. And then the feature just ends with issue 440. I have heard the reason why that the feature ended. Why did it end with this issue? The rumor I heard, because people were complaining, there were complaints, there were criticism that the book was getting too gruesome. Yeah, that's the rumor I heard. Okay, so then we went to Brave and Bold. Okay, now Brave and 116 does feature backup features in this book, which are basically reprints. Yes. There is not a single new story printed in this book, so aside from the opening story, everything else is reprints, so it's basically Batman and Spectre teaming up to take on a group known as Dirty Dozers. And then you have move over to DC Comics number 29, where it teams with the Spectre, where Spectre teams up with Superman. There is a backup feature in the book we have documented, but it's not really a full review of this one, so moving on. And then we have 3 issues of Ghost, featured Doc 13, and then where it's just regular supernatural stories that just have feature Spectre. And then we have issue 180, of which does feature it's most of them take on this guy called Warzin, this wizard who appears as one issue, and that's it. Oh, and the arc issue is done by the late Jim Aparo. The final issue, you could definitely say, yeah, the whole issue is reprinted here because it's just one story. It's Batman versus the Spectre, while dealing with some other people here. And that's it. Overall, really fun book. If you're a fan of the Spectre, check it out. I'm going to give it roughly a 10 out of 10. Alright, so next up we have is Runaways Volume 5 Canon Fodder. This book collects issues 25-31, and this broke another record. And it'd be the only record this book breaks, because the very last set of issues are the final issues of this series. When I get Volume 6 of this, it will be collecting the last 7 issues, issues 32-38. The reason I broke a record for this one, because when it hit issue 31, it broke Volume 2's record, which was 30 issues. This story is called Canon Fodder, written by Rima Rao. It's basically the Runaways work with this guy called Dr. Justice, who is this superhero that exists for this book. No one ever heard. I'd never heard of him before this book. He's not some old school golden age character who was brought back here. No, he is basically a made up character for this book. We have this group called the J Team, where apparently they were like superheroes operating in LA before the Runaways, and become an official team. And then Gertrude finds out she doesn't trust Dr. Justice, so she does research and finds out though what happened to the previous J Team. They all died, all because of his arrogance. Yeah, because Dr. Justice is a jerk. And also, you got a nice swanky mansion. There's not much to this book of the romance between Nico and Corolla. That's basically there is a background piece, but it's not part of the story. It's like, weird thing about this book, they very rarely interact. And the book ends with appearance by Alex Wilder. Interesting. But it's a very interesting book what it is. I do like the concept of them giving it super costumes, but it is quite lengthy of a storyline. It's only like surprisingly 7 issues. But I like it. Give the book roughly I'm going to give it roughly a 9 out of 10. I just kind of wish basically they would have continued this book, because I'm going to get Volume 6 today. And I'm going to talk about basically those last 7 issues and how I felt this dealt basically that, well, ending the book was a mistake. We'll talk about it another time. So yeah, that's a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do another like button. Next time we have another comic corner, and then I'll think like next thing to talk about is probably just basically go back to Go Kaiju. Okay? See you. Bye.